Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Um, we something happened, and we just thought we'd bring this up. As a matter of fact, Sean was the first one to notice it, at least of the people that I talked to, and so I'd I'd I would just like to put something up here, and I'll let Sean pretty much at least narrate the very the initial portions of this. Hold on a second. Let me go ahead and get this here. No, like that. I need a right screen and transition. Sean, what am I looking at? Oh, that's right. Yeah, hold on a second. I gotta do the screen cap in here. Here we go. Now it's in yours. No. Hallucination. Yeah. They can't hear you? Oh. Oh, yeah. They can't hear you. Here, let's try that again. Hold on a second. I'll bet they can hear you now.
Testing, testing. Can you
There,
hear me?
there you are.
I know you don't like my voice on all slide, but you don't have to silence me.
I didn't have desktop audio turned on in OBS. So
Oh, and I
let's.
thought flippers were the only with technical difficulties.
So once again, Sean, now that you have perfectly explained it to me,
Okay.
what are we
What,
looking
what
at
we're
here?
what we're seeing on screen here is Anthony Riley's "We Do Not Need Gravity" video. Now, the video is currently unavailable because it contains content from Jansen Media, who has blocked it on copyright grounds. Now, just to be clear, this is not a copyright strike intentionally done by Jansen Media. They have their stuff that they hold the rights to in the copyright database. And it took some time, but the YouTube AI has eventually matched up some of the content in Anthony's video with the stuff that Jansen Media has flagged as not viewable in most countries. So it automatically blocked the video. It's still on his channel. It's just not able to be watched in 157 countries.
And let me pause something real quick here. No, I didn't miss Copernicus Thinker. Yes, thank you very much for the super chat. It's just what do you call it? I didn't want to interrupt Sean while he was making his point. Really
Now,
appreciate that.
now what has been blocked in all these countries is a little clip he's used from Bob Ross because Jansen Media owns the rights to Bob Ross and his theme song. Anthony used both in his video. So the YouTube bot blocked it as per the request of any media they find that matches the original Bob Ross footage or audio.
Now here's the
So,
thing. Here's the thing that needs to be said though. Of course, under certain circumstances, Riley would be able to, and just about anybody would be able to use Bob Ross's footage if, under fair use, you were doing a critique or educating people on something that he was doing or an expose about Bob Ross. However, he just used it as a background to his own stuff.
I was going to get to that
Oh, okay.
because, like I said, this was an automated thing. Jansen Media hasn't done anything to lift a finger to even notice Anthony at this point. This is just all automatic. So now what's going to happen is Anthony will, within his right to do so, contest the content ID claim so he can put his video back up as is. At that point, Jansen Media will be notified that he's put up a counterclaim against the content ID claim.
And
They will then they will have the option to review Anthony's video, and they will see that he is doing no commentary on Bob Ross. He is doing no satire of Bob Ross. he is doing no parody of Bob Ross. He has literally just lifted their footage and music and put it into his video with no commentary about Bob Ross. Nothing. So they will actively place a copyright strike on his channel if he can test this. Then Anthony can go ahead and do the copyright counterclaim.
Which would be unwise.
Which will be unwise because this is a legitimate content ID match for Jansen Media's property. It's theirs.
And Riley had no reason to use it.
Right. So he can counter their actual their actual intentional copyright strike. He's within his rights to try that. But at that point, Jansen Media is going to say, well, you're not using Bob Ross's stuff in fair use. Here's your court case.
Yep.
This is how this will play out.
And the other way that you can notice that this is something that is technically in a pending status is by the fact that you still see his name below it and the votes on the video, as well as the title.
It's just blocked in pretty much every country. There's only like 8 or 9 that is allowed to be seen in.
Because when you get a bullshit copyright strike like I got, the only thing that's visible is this screen and why the video's gone. Doesn't even show your name down below it. That means gone.
Yeah, when you get an actual takedown notice because of copyright, which is a manual thing, the video is just gone.
Mm-hmm.
This was a content ID match, so it's got country viewable restrictions to it.
Right.
I deal with content ID matching all the time because of the nature of my parodies. Specifically, my Jeranism and his laser test with the 3-hole boards. Mm-hmm. That parody, I actually was on my channel a month before anybody got to see it because it got content ID matched and it's blocked in 187 countries. I actually countered that, and UMG actually released the content ID claim because they realized it was under fair use.
Right.
So that video came out a month after I actually posted it, but it showed this exact same screen. If people could still get the link to it, they would go and get the screen that it was contains content for UMG, who has blocked it on copyright grounds.
Right.
Once I countered it legally, because I actually had grounds to counter because it did fall under fair use.
Right.
They saw that as well. They released the claim, which is the only reason that video exists on my channel.
Right, and I've had audio copyright things hit me as well because I use royalty-free loops in a lot of the music that I do, and some people have made music and copyrighted their music, which they're more than legally allowed to do. And I get hit from things like CD Baby and all that other stuff. Who they'll say that you're using somebody else's music because it matched the content. But then I'll turn around and I'll say no, I'm using royalty-free loops, and when that gets back to the individuals, they pretty much drop it because they know that's the case. I mean, it's not a I win you lose thing or anything like that. It's just that's just the case.
Yeah.
However, when a video gets removed, this is what it looks like. This is my FE Core Can't Laser video. Okay, there is no names below it. There's no data on the side to be claimed and all this. All it says is this video is no longer available due to a copyright claim by, in this case, FE Core Incorporated.
Right. I just wanted to make it very, very clear that as of right now, there is nothing bad happening to Anthony's channel.
No.
This is a very common occurrence where you run across something that is blocked in one or more countries.
Now, the reason why I wanted to spotlight this evening, and I was going to do a humorous little thing like Riley did and say, oh, his channel's gonna go, let's all sing, a song and all this other. No. What I really want to do is I just want to point out the irony here. The irony that, what do you call it? Obviously the FE Core thing that I went through, or am still going through technically. Riley holds himself as the legal advisor for FE Core. Okay, I don't know if that's 100% solid or anything anymore. I know it was. That's why he was doing the a couple of FE Core on FE Core channel little whatever those videos were that he was doing where he was just talking about current events or something like that. but he holds himself to think that he's got some kind of legal degree in the works, which we all know he doesn't. Um, or he might be trying, but it ain't gonna happen. We all read his thesis. But so I just had to point out the irony here that he thought himself so emboldened and so clever to use copyrighted material in a way that was not working with fair use, using the material within fair use, and got his video got shot. I just find that hysterical.
Well, again, Sly, this so far is entirely an automated thing with the content ID
Oh yeah,
database.
yeah. But even then, he would have to know that he used the Bob Ross footage in a way that was not that does not follow the guidelines of fair use. He would have to know that if he
Oh
wants
yeah.
to sit here and talk about all this shit.
Well,
So,
Anthony's got a history of using copyrighted material.
mm-hmm.
For example, he had two videos, I think within the last 1 to 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
where he was using WWE footage at the beginnings of his videos. He was actually warned by WWE to pull them down.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get struck by them. He was actually given a warning to do so. So they did the nice thing. Please take them down, or we will take action. Content ID database doesn't give you that option.
No.
It just says we're just gonna make your video unavailable. You can fix it later if you want. Is basically what it's saying.
Now, mind you, there was also that situation. You just talked about a situation that you had with Jeranism. Now,
The issue wasn't with journalism. It was with the music that I used in my video.
Right, but now I had falsely, well, not falsely, better said, unknowingly, told Jeranism that there's no way you can wake up to a copyright strike because of the fact that I had dealt with audio things. Now I want to make sure that I put this on a video that's not going to get smacked for privacy rights. Because I am a big enough boy to admit when I was incorrect about something. There was a while back where Jaron had gotten a copyright strike on his thing, and I sat there and I just kind of pummeled him a little bit as a small part of a live stream. And I had said, there's no way that you can wake up to a copyright. That means that you didn't take action on a warning and all this other stuff. And I had thought that was actually the case because of the copyright things that I had dealt with Content ID, as far as the audio that I was speaking about earlier. But but it turns out, yes, you can wake up to a copyright strike on your channel and your video gone.
Yes.
That can happen. What do you call it? So, like I said, I had apologized in that privacy strike video, which FE Core saw fit to take down or get taken down. And so I just want to make sure that on a video that's still rolling, that, I can admit when I'm wrong, but at the same time, if you get a copyright strike, then somebody has actually filed a legitimate claim against you, or what they consider at least to be a legitimate claim, which in the case of my videos was not. And I'm still dealing with AI Helen and AI Carl. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm starting to believe I'm just being pacified until I, ultimately just give up on the shit as far as what YouTube is going to do. Because it doesn't seem like YouTube really gives a shit.
And I'm glancing over the track. Just to be clear, this is not a copyright strike.
No.
This is a content ID block to specific countries.
Right.
It just happens to be 157 of them.
That's just a few. But yeah, and like I said, I just wanted to spotlight the irony of the fact that, he being so smart on law and all this other shit, he should have known better than to use content not within fair use, but as a backdrop to his video, whether he monetizes his videos or not. Period. That's just all it is.
Well, here's the thing. Content ID, the first thing it looks for is the rules that the content or the copyright holder has. Most of them say we'll just monetize the video and take the revenue from that video.
Mm-hmm.
Some songs they say are not visible in specific countries.
Right.
There's 7 continents, but yes, I see the sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, Janssen Media says, okay, because of Germany's actually one of the big causes of this because they have very, very odd copyright laws.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to cover all bases, a lot of copyright owners will say, okay, well, we're going to cut out Germany and any country that abides by Germany's laws, which happens to be 157 countries.
Yeah. So that
So
doesn't that doesn't really make Germany special in that case.
No, well, Germany's the one that started it. If basically the rule is if Germany doesn't allow certain music to be played there, YouTube will block it from 157 countries automatically, just to cover their side of it.
Yep.
They're not blocking it worldwide. They're just making sure that Germany doesn't violate their copyright laws.
And to Sheena Living Waters, yes, I am. So, just wanted to put that. But anyway, so Riley done fucked up. So har.
Anthony's best option right here is to just take the video down, take out the Bob Ross section and the music that he uses throughout the video,
right,
and re-upload it.
Yeah,
because even with his little Density Tower Bob Ross kind of thing going on, it still gives that Bob Ross feeling even without the Bob Ross clip at the beginning. That will solve this entire issue. That's probably his best option at this. You shouldn't try to fight this because Janssen Media will give him a legitimate copyright strike that he doesn't want to fight.
Okay,
so Anthony, I'm trying to give you some advice here, Anthony.
Yeah.
Literally, just take the video down, remove the Bob Ross music, remove the Bob Ross clip at the beginning. You should be good.
Well, you should be as good as you. Harry Warp has an interesting question. Were the comments disabled before, or did you disable the comments?
When a video gets flagged like this, comments are automatically disabled.
Right.
So I don't know. I can't say if Anthony did before or not, but I do know that when a video is made unavailable, the contents are unavailable, or the comments are unavailable as well.
Right, because otherwise it turns into just a big bitch session. But
right.
But given the fact that 599 people downvoted this, whereas 123 upvoted it, and I seem to remember some of the comments on there, even from flat earthers telling Riley that he's a dumbass, as per the contents of this video. It wouldn't shock me if he actually disabled them as well.
No, I just know that Anthony's response to this is going to be totally overblown from what it is. It's just a simple content ID match. Just fix what's giving you the conflict. Don't try to fight it because you're not going to win that case in this situation because you didn't use the Bob Ross footage in fair use.
Yeah, no, you didn't at all.
So you don't want Janssen Media to actively take a look at that video. Just take it down, remove the Bob Ross stuff, put it back up. You're fine. This is legitimate advice because I don't want to see your channel disappear because of a stupid reason.
Right.
Don't try to flex your big balls as a failed lawyer. Do the smart thing.
All right, so let's move on to other subjects.
Okay.
Because, I mean, this is just it's so ironic. I was when I saw this in our back chat, I was laughing my ass off in my car. But so something else that I got recently, and I'm going to be using it. Some people know why, but if you don't know why, then just be in suspense, I guess. I have now officially it's a thermal camera that you attach to your phone.
I actually looked at one of those. I actually looked at those last year when the whole moon cold thing was coming around. I was going to buy one, but I just really couldn't put it into a budget.
Yeah, no, I have one now, and I could tell you that it's cool as hell. I mean, it really is. And what do you call it? The other day, I was actually outside, and I went out to this kind of colder part of my neighborhood, and then I looked down at my shoes, and then I took a step back, and I could see my warm footprints, which I thought was cool as hell. But it automatically adjusts range of what's being looked at per the high and low temperatures that are in the camera. And if anybody's wondering which one I have, it's called the Seek Thermal Compact. That's the one that I have. And I don't have the Pro, and I think there's another version, but I have the Compact. And so I'm going to be having a little bit of fun with that pretty soon.
Just out of curiosity, how much did that cost? Because when I was checking for them, even their lowest end one was like $550.
Nah, that's a little bit high. Well, I can tell you in euros it goes for about 280.
Yeah, that's come down a lot then
Yeah,
from when I look for it.
yeah. I mean, there's a couple of different ones out there and stuff like that in varying qualities. Obviously, the highest quality one that I've seen is from Fleer, um, but I mean, you would have to be at a professional grade need for it to spend five, six, 700 euros for it, and what do you call it? Which I am not.
Barry, I just had a good suggestion.
What's that?
Find a human that's a flat earther, and take a picture of them and see how there's no blood going to their brain.
Well, I might actually get that opportunity sometime pretty soon, but I don't know. But nevertheless, so I have that, and unless I'm mistaken, in about 2 weeks is a full moon. No, this is just a advertising picture, Harry M. I do not have an iPhone. I'm not that silly. This is just an ad picture for it. I have mine hanging off the bottom off a Samsung Galaxy S5, and which works just fine. And but wait, what? Hold on.
What?
I'm looking at something here in the chat. I don't see. Oh, okay, casual spaceman. Okay, I saw Hey Spaceman. I thought Spaceman was here.
Oh yeah, he has been around. Hasn't been around for a while.
No, unfortunately,
I think he changed his name actually.
Well, I seem to recall. Well, he changed his name once before. He used to be Big Round Earth, and then he became Spaceman. But it sounded like he had actually lost interest in the whole subject anyway. And but I wish him well wherever he's at, because he was.
Kirby New York is trying to do a spoiler thing.
What? How dare you?
How dare you give spoilers, sir?
Spoiler alert. But hey, that's a great idea. Maybe I'll consider doing that. A little bit of sarcasm there. Anyway, so that's on its way, because I have heard everybody's complaints. I know everybody's getting sick and tired of hearing about the FE core thing. What do you call it? Because it has nothing to do with my standard content of taking the claims that flat earthers make and testing them out and finding out if they're legit or not, or if these fuckers are just full of shit on whatever they're putting out, which it's been pretty much unanimous all the way around that they're full of shit. But what do you call it? But this actually does play a part in it. The actual disinformation and the propelling of disinformation from flat earthers does play into the current situation with FE Core. FE Core feels themselves in the right for everything that they're doing, even though everything that they're doing is incorrect. As far as these copyright and privacy strikes. On top of that, on the science side, which I thoroughly enjoy, and I tried to tell Mike that I only wanted to talk about that, but Mike insisted that we talk about his company. On the science side, I haven't found a single damn thing that they've done right. So excuse me, if you're not making flattering stuff, then you can't get mad when people only point out that you only got unflattering bullshit. So but nevertheless, that's being worked on. I've had a very, very hectic past couple of weeks. So even though I've said it about 3 times now that I have the FE Core still really can't laser video, and a couple other videos coming out, I have not had the time to sit down and complete them. I've done like chunks and chunks, but they're not done yet. But I got that, and some of you saw during the live chat that I had with Mike Kavanaugh, I had shown everybody this hovering gyroscope that I was making, which I've been really proud of and working very tediously on. But then something actually hit me, in my own words, to Mike Kavanaugh. See, Mike Kavanaugh, they built this really beautiful gyro that is not going to do anything of what they want it to do. As far as A, disproving Foucault, and B, detecting the rotation of the Earth. Their gimbal is not sensitive enough, and it is not Foucault's design. So therefore, what's up, Marvel Girl? So the thing is that they are not going to get the results to do either activity, whether it's, like I said, disprove Foucault or measure the rotation of the Earth. I, however, as much as I was really loving the hovering one that I was doing, which was a minor achievement, well, a great achievement on my side for getting it to be that sensitive, I decided to take my own advice, and what I am building and currently testing is my own Foucault gyroscope per the way that Foucault actually did it. Now, mind you, I am not going to have a centimeter for centimeter mimic of it, but yet the function is going to be identical as far as it's going to be hanging from a string, and then it is on two triangle. Is this the one? Yeah, two triangle pivot points on a flat surface. Or well, it's actually. I found out that it had to be a bowed surface. I had this thing fly off the mount one time because it will actually try and turn off of that surface. It's crazy. But so I am going to be actually doing the Foucault thing, and because I'm taking my own advice, because I had criticized Mike for why did you spend so much money on a gyroscope that's nothing like Foucault's and will not do what Foucault's did. And well, with a 3D printer and a little bit of a couple of Legos, turns out I can do it. So that's something I've been working on. And Sean, I got to tell you something that was really cool about this is the where's that? Okay, this is just basically an arc. Now you saw the design that I had sent to you not too long ago with an arc here that said Sly Sparkane and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the problem that I ran into with that was I had to design this in such a way that I could put screws, horizontal and vertical screws in it, so I can get the balance perfect. Problem
Right.
was is it kept on hitting that stupid arc. So, and on top of that, the holes that I had on the side. See, now the Foucault one on the side the triangle mounts, the Foucault one has just a very slight bow to the base that those triangles are sitting on. And I was just like, okay, well, maybe that was just because of insensitivity or insensitivity, yeah, lack of sensitivity or anything like that, or a design idea or something like that. Turns out, no, that had a functional purpose.
Yeah. For vibration, so it wouldn't slide off the
Right.
stand.
Even the very slightest vibration, and I'm talking about blowing on the thing, uh, it would slide off of a flat surface. so so I had that fun, and like I said, I had to reprint the whole damn thing because of the fact that it broke when the 3D printing part broke when it hit the ground.
Oh,
But
ouch.
but here's the cool part though, and this is something that I thought was really neat. Now I caught a lot of shit from folks on um, my Cavendish redo, which, as I understand, who was it that also redid it and did a far better job than I ever did?
BM Furball. Can't shout that gentleman out enough.
Right. Hey, Copernicus, thank you, bud, thank you. The okay, EM Furball did that, so everybody go take a look at that. But the the joke is that about half of the complaints that I got from flat earthers was how do we know you're not manipulating the string, and which I guess would be a valid argument, even though there was no way that I could manipulate the string because I wasn't in the room until later on when I actually just put the bowling balls in there and then left the room again. But I had a little bit of fun here. I spun up the gyro, right? And I got this hanging from. I have a loop in my ceiling that used to go from one of those hanging chairs, and and I had the string hanging from there for right now. Before I make a mount for it, like a tabletop mount. And it was funny. I could turn that string with this thing spun up. I could turn that string like about 5, 6 times, even like 2 inches away from the arc that it's attached to, and the damn thing wouldn't move. I thought that was so cool. You know,
Yes, like people are calling you out in chat for saying Mike Cavendish.
did I say Mike Cavendish?
Yes.
No, I said my Cavendish. My
Oh,
Cavendish experiment. No, 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 no,
it
no.
came out as Mike though.
Oh, okay, my bad. No, I didn't. I've only ever said Cavendish. What it goes. Matter of fact, I don't know the first name of Cavendish. What
No,
is his first
you
name?
just said Mike Cavendish so fast it sounded like Mike Cavendish.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad. No, I did not say Mike. I honestly, do you know what Cavendish's first name is?
Uh, oh, I used to. Is it Henry?
Is it?
I think so. Let me double check that. I
Yeah.
thought it was Henry.
Well, as long as it's not Leon.
Yeah.
Cavendish
Yep,
experiment.
Henry Cavendish.
Okay, Henry Cavendish. Yeah, no, I said my Cavendish experiment was what I said though. But I don't even know who Mike Cavendish would be. But
Well, they're making fun of Mike Kavanaugh. So.
yeah, I'm sure. But anyway, no, but so I got this going on, and so I'm gonna have some fun with it, and so I got a couple of things I'm thinking. I still got to I have a animated short that I'm completing that I've been wanting to get completed for a while now. The audio has been done for a little while. It's an all-star cast. What do you call it? So I'm looking to get that done, and yeah, it's just I've just been so tore up with between work and a couple of family things going on, so it's just been a lot going on. So I appreciate everybody's patience on that because it's time to get back to the science. I am not going to put out any more FE Core stuff until there's FE Core stuff to put out. Um, and like I said, so we are in a we're in hurry up and wait right now. So yeah, until I have something to put out on that, there are very few people that are even in that discussion circle. So it's going to be a lot of fun though. And but this thing, this uh, Foucault pendulum that I built, it's kind of funny. You see it on there with Legos, a less expensive gyroscope, and some 3D printed stuff and some rubber bands. This didn't cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars like the one that FE Core is using that is not going to be good for anything. This is how easy this is to reproduce. So I'm going to be working on that and be having a lot of fun. And I still have the mount. It's actually sitting right next to me. The hovering mount that I made for this for the gyro, but that's kind of that's a personal project of mine just to see if I could get it done. And I will be returning to that, I'm sure, at one time. So keep doing what you're doing. Thanks. Oh, geez. Andy Good. Wow, I'm just not even going to screw it up, man. I'm not going to screw it up. Andy G, how about that? Yeah, so that's the stuff that's going on. So anybody who thinks that, Sly's just kind of bogged down with FE Core stuff, to be honest with you, FE Core is by far not the first thing on my mind. And I have noticed that there still hasn't been any word or new experiments from them. I did see that they, unless I read it wrong, they failed on their microwave test. What do you call it? Like I said, I don't feel bad about failure, nor do I make fun of failure because that's science. You do something and you fuck up and you have to do it again. I myself am not immune to that. But at the same time, if you're looking to confirm a presupposition, then yeah, it's going to fail every time if your presupposition is incorrect. So, yeah. Let's see. Are you putting up instructions for us to replicate? Sure, I'll put out my 3D prints. As a matter of fact, you know what I do have? I think I can open this with Windows has this cool little 3D viewer. Where is it? Was it 3D viewer? Is that what it was? Yeah. This is well, these are obviously not the colors I used, but This is the 3D print of the original one that I did, but unfortunately, the screws were sticking out too high, and I also made a perfectly flat base for the triangles to sit on, and that didn't go very well. So I yeah, so I had to redo that, and ultimately what I did was I just kind of did away with this. I built it out of Legos on the sides, but everything else is held true to what it was, meaning that I'm still using these calipers on the sides. These triangles here had to do with the fact that I needed to be able to have a perfectly nice flat base for this to get built on. Plus these triangles, these triangle extensions, they plug in here like caps. So that was my genius design, and but I mean it works. And then I strapped it onto my to my gyro. It almost holds perfectly because I made it just a little bit small on purpose so it would grip the housing of the gyroscope itself. But I put rubber bands on there because I just don't feel like having that thing fall down to the ground. So just because of design. But so it's all kinds of fun, and yeah, sure, I'll put the OBJ. I had the OBJ here. Once I finalize the design that I'm going to use, because I still want to do something a little bit different on the connection here, but I'm not 100% certain that I'm going to change it because it is functioning. But yeah, I'll put the OBJ out, and people can do their stuff all by themselves. The gyroscope is purchased from what was it, gyroscopes.com, I think it is. Let's see, super precision gyroscope. There it is. It is no like that. There we go. It is this gyroscope, the one that everybody was hot about for a while there. This is the one. It's gyroscopes.com. This is the gyroscope that I'm using, and then the screws. They're M4 screws that I got from a local hardware store. And Legos, hey, I'm not gonna buy you Legos. They're expensive enough. But yeah, and yeah. So that's what I'm working on, because I enjoy the science side. Everybody else wants to turn this into a he said, she said, bitch match, and slap fest, and all this other stuff. Yeah, I really don't much care about that, to be honest with you. What do you call it? Assholes will be assholes, so that's just basically what it is. Let's see, why not go with Acme? They literally produce Acme. Well, when I'm trying to catch the Roadrunner, I'll let you know. Let's see, print out the letters, click them into the frame. Yeah, well, the cool part is, Stanislav, is this part here, the actual arc here, as long as it's level, it doesn't really have to be all that well balanced. It's actually kind of funny, because, like I said, I twisted the string, I twisted the actual arch here and stuff like that, and everything just stayed right where it was. So it was really cool, and so I'm having lots of fun, man. This is cool stuff right here. I mean, it's kind of funny when you're designing this stuff and when you're actually building it and trying to figure out what it was that somebody like Foucault was actually thinking, and how they came to the design conclusions that they came to, and all this. I mean, back in those days, I'm not certain that ball bearings like even existed, and if they did, not to maybe this size. And so this right here, this right here is, far better than any ball bearing ever was. And because all it is it's balanced. This right here, this point right here in the design, actually goes right through the axis of the gyroscope, as far as that axis of motion. And so it's just so cool to see how they came up with this shit. because you try and do things like you got to hold yourself back from saying well, I could do it better than that, or I could do it like this, and then you find out no, this was the best way to do it. So you kind of feel a little bit silly. You're like, okay, well, I guess they were right. And hold on a second. As a matter of fact, FOU Foucault gyroscope images. So here's the actual Foucault. I want to see if I can find. Yeah, that's the super big version. That's what I want to look at. 5,000 by 5,000. See this. This is his knife edge, and the point of the knife edge actually sits at the center of the axis of rotation, and then it's hanging from a string, and that string sits up here, and then this is an adjustment screw to point it in the direction that you want it. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have, instead of dropping it down as a point here, I'm going to have two retractable or vertically retractable arms to hold it in place while I spin it up, and then retract the arms so that I don't put a spin on the thing, or accidentally motivate it in any direction. And but that's it's crazy to look at, but I mean that's how they figured this shit out, and it's a lot of fun to reproduce it. So yeah. Let's see here. Now move this here, move that there. So Sean, do you got anything coming up, or you just tired of everybody beating up on you right now, or?
Oh no, there's always more stuff coming up. Just getting around to doing it. Finally finished up the music for oh shit. I finished up the music. Damn it. For Life in the Flat Lane.
Okay.
Now I just got to worry about putting lyrics to it. I've had a few ideas for lines, but I haven't fleshed out the whole song yet. Mm-hmm. So expect Life in the Flat Lane to be coming out soon. Yes, that's a parody of Life in the Fast Lane.
You don't say.
For those that don't know. For those that don't know, because there are other music people that just are illiterate in music. So
this is true.
Other than that, I'm actually considering making a new video about Dan, because he made a really boneheaded comment today on Jose's channel.
Dan
the Waterman.
Oh, okay.
That thinks that fog is something to do with refraction.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that shit was funny.
Oh, he is butthurt to this day. Every time he sees my name, he just goes completely ballistic. I swear he's the most butthurt flat earther I've ever seen.
I think next time it's foggy out, I'm going to look out and say, wow, it's really refracty out.
Well, I was actually thinking about finally putting a video on YouTube. I've actually covered this in a stream, but I'm actually thinking about making a video where I actually had the foggy weather where I flew the drone up in fog. Mm-hmm. Demonstrating that, if the reason why we see farther as we go higher, according to flat earthers, is because we're seeing through less air.
Dirty air.
But then they say we can't see through the atmosphere, or so far in the atmosphere when we're on the ground, because we have to look through more air.
Dirty air.
Well, we had fog, so I took the drone up to 400 feet just to show how the horizon gets closer as you have to look through more air as you gain altitude.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a very contradictory flat Earth claim. So I'm thinking about making that into an actual standalone video just to rub it in.
That's gonna be fun.
But he made the claim today, and I actually took a screenshot of the quote, because I was as soon as I saw it, I was like, I might make a video on this guy. So let me go to that screenshot so I make sure I don't misquote him, Anthony, since you like to think I misquote everybody for some reason. Mm-hmm. The quote was, and this is dealing with water, mind you.
Yeah.
Which is funny as hell, because it's Dan the Waterman. Water is bluer from the bottom up.
What?
Let that sink in for a second. This is a direct quote. Water is bluer from the bottom up.
In what context?
There was no context. They were talking about how light is affected by various things it goes through, and he just simply said water is bluer from the bottom up.
Water's the same color the whole way.
Water's the same color the other way. He just didn't understand diffusion. at all.
Water is bluer, so blue is the new density.
Apparently, the denser something is, the bluer it is, I guess. But with water, it's pretty much incompressible, so the density remains the same.
Jeez.
So I'm actually going to do a video I'm going to find videos that have lights underwater,
Yeah.
and show that the water gets bluer from the top down.
That'd be awesome. Wow. Oh man.
Did that break your brain?
That is so rough.
For somebody who calls themselves Dan the Waterman, doesn't understand simple diffusion of light through water is just insane.
Water is bluer from the bottom up.
Direct quote. I'll even share the screen for
Hey,
that.
but you know what? Wouldn't that also be a discussion of change in density without a barrier?
Well, no, because water's incompressible, so its density remains the same from top to bottom.
But I mean, if the color changes,
the pressure changes.
There must be something that changes there, right?
Yeah, the pressure, but the density doesn't.
Wow.
Let me reopen that up and I'll share that screen for you because it's funny. Share screen application. Of course, the Windows Picture Viewer doesn't show up. Isn't that nice? Okay, so maybe I won't share it. I don't have the second monitor turned on.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh man. Well, I'm looking forward to the music, so I think that's gonna be cool.
I'll send you a copy of the music after we get done with this.
What you really need to do is, before you put out a video and stuff like that, say, hey, I need a singer who can sing this song. Or at least can match the tones of the original of this song, and then I'm going to give you the text and you need to sing it.
Hey, there's a standing offer on my channel. Anybody who wants to sing any one of my parodies, just record them doing a vocal track for it. I'll put it over. I'll remove the melody from the MIDI, and I'll just make it into a single song on its own.
Cool. I bet Sly is eating cream skeptic Twinkies.
Oh,
no.
God.
What I'm actually eating is, what are these called? Celebrations, which are mini Bounty, Snickers, and Twix and stuff like that. Because I ate my dinner, I cleaned my plate, I'm allowed to have dessert. So, but anyway, so that's all the stuff that's going on right now. I just wanted to make sure that we just showed the irony of people who try and give advice on the functions of copyrights, and I wanted to make sure that now that he has his own little trouble to deal with, which is not a big thing.
It's not really trouble. I mean,
no,
it has no negative impact on his channel other than the fact that his video can't be seen by most.
However, unless he pulls the flat Earth card and tries to say that he's bulletproof to everything. Now he did do that to me once. I had that gravity video about, and I did the animations of the people inside of the 0G aircraft, and I didn't like the fact that he used my animations without actually saying who made them, and so that that just kind of that irked me. But this was a while ago, and so I had put a copyright to him. However, that is true that if you don't come back with a court case, YouTube's not going to give a shit, and YouTube's just going to let them have it. So I let them have it, but I can guarantee you that Jensen Media is not going to be so kind.
No, not in the least.
Okay,
they are because when I first saw it,
they are a multimedia rights holding company. They eat dumb fucks like you for breakfast. So I just figured I'd had to point that out because I was still laughing by the time I got home because Right when I saw you post that, Sean, I was just like, oh my god, I gotta call you. I gotta find out what the fuck this is about and all this, because I was, and Sean will attest to it. I was just in my car laughing my ass off.
Now, just to correct something that you said early on in the stream. I'm not the one that discovered this. People on Simon Dan's video actually pointed it out, and I just went and verified it.
Well, I mean,
and I just rolled laughing.
You were the one who brought it to my attention in our chats, but so that's just fucking hysterical, and so much for that legal knowledge there, homie. Oh shit. But anyway, so as you can see, lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff going to be coming out, and hopefully I'll be able to get some of it done this week. I'm almost done with the FE Core still can't laser. I'm hoping to actually have that done this weekend finally, because I'm actually going to get some time to do it. So I mean, I've already got the audio cut. I've already basically got the animations that I want to use. I just haven't been able to assemble the video itself and edit it together. So, but anyway, ladies and gents, I really appreciate all y'all stopping by. And Sean, of course, as usual, thanks for stopping by. Gio couldn't make it. Reds is probably, I don't know, out there harassing or stalking somebody. And
look out, Chesh.
Yeah, I tried to do something nice for Chess, and she kind of blew me off. But anyway, so ladies and gents, thanks for stopping by. And where is my control panel? There it is. And let's see, and I hope all of y'all have a very nice evening.
Oh my god.